meetings about energy generation, no meetings about energy saving. And why? And why has nobody set up an energy saving group in Scotland? Well, there's Energy Action Scotland, which is a fair bit about energy saving. There's also campaigns more to, as much to alleviate the pressures on the poorest people in the country, so it's a sort of double action. This because it's not sexy, you know. Piece of interior insulation or exterior insulation, or just a couple of sheets of nondescript insulation. It isn't sexy at all. Whereas big turbines spinning around with advanced technology, that's sexy. People can look at that stuff. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a great scientific advance. So, you know, we do have a problem. Yes. Right, the question is how can we improve the relationship with not-for-profit, non-voluntary organisations and the business network? Well, one of the ways to do that is through the Business Environment Network themselves, who I do a lot of work with, and they're based in Dalkeith. They do a lot. For instance, any of you who wanted to do their summer programme, who wanted to get involved in something practical, you could get an 8-week course with in energy saving, in recycling, and general ecological management. Give you an 8-week sort of basic course. Then I'll place you with a firm somewhere in the Lothian region. They'll give you access, because that's the agreement with the firm, to everybody in the firm, from the shop floor up to the general manager or the CEO. And then you can then look at everything the firm does and give them a report at the end of it. And students, you know, from a huge range of disciplines, you'll be studying anything you like. You don't have to be doing environmental studies or physics or engineering or anything. They've saved these firms £10 million. And they themselves have vastly benefited from the experience of, you know, working, actually doing something practical, working with business, seeing how businesses work, and actually seeing how businesses impact on the environment. That's one way to do it. But there is a gap here. And I'm stepping down from Parliament in 2011. And it's become almost a catchphrase. Tony Benn, when he was asked why he was stepping down from the House of Commons, when he had a safe seat, he could carry it on as long as he liked, he said, well, I want to get involved in politics. And I want to get involved in doing something, where I can actually see the reward. There are frustrations in the Parliament. It's a very important job. And taking things, forward at a parliamentary level and influencing occasionally government policy and giving people, I think, certainly in the environmental side of things, a great deal of hope. But I've been doing it for 12 years, and I'd actually like to see some it's very selfish, I suppose, really, but I can see I've been in a very privileged position in that I know so much about what goes on in Scotland in the environment, politics, political parties and so on. And I'm always putting people together. I meet people, somebody at reception, and I remember, oh, now, I have so-and-so and so-and-so comes to another one. I think I have this card somewhere, or maybe it's on the desk, or maybe I lost it. I spend a fair amount of my time in this exciting thing of putting people together. I don't know what happens very often. Sometimes they get back to me and say, Robin, that was great, thanks very much. We're doing this, this and this. But I want to do more of that, because so much of the work in the Parliament is reactive. I have to answer between 100 and 150 emails a day on every subject under the sun. And I have to answer them effectively, otherwise answer back with another question and another question. I have to react every week to the government's agenda and the other parties' agendas when they bring in motions. I have to, for us to debate in Parliament, if they're important enough, I have to be in a position where I can find the time to prepare a speech, go in, or prepare an introduction, go in. So I'm on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's almost purely reactive, except for where we have an opportunity to be, if you like, well, when we put in amendments, those, if you like, although it's reactive, they're always part of our policy. So you can see them as not just reactive, but as opportunities to take things forward. But we don't have command over the agenda, about the timing. And I want to, while I still got the energy and the will to have a little bit more focus, now that I know so much about what needs to be done and how to do it, and how I'm going to teach people to do it. Tomorrow morning I'm speaking to 300 engineers in the extra tower. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. But, there is a gap, you're quite right. But we are conscious of it. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, it will put immense pressure on us, yes. It will. If the next election is again a round between the SNP and Labour, we will be very squeezed. The only thing we can do is to fight the best election we possibly can, but also to dig in and make sure that we survive this sort of politics by electing more councillors, so that we still have elected members. It is obviously, it would be ludicrous of us not to see that as a possibility. Because we went into the last election, I have to say, it's maybe a little bit too gung-ho. We weren't looking harder at the effects of the SNP Labour politics of water and SNP. Well, it's a tricky one place more, what that would do. And our influence anyway is likely to disappear when David feels off to be the High Commissioner in Malawi officially in January. He might delay it. If the